Once upon a time, a young prince came to Mahatma Buddha to learn from him and become his disciple. The very next day, Mahatma Buddha sent the prince to a female monk's house to take alms. On his way, he thought that he won't get to eat the food that he likes so much. He will have to live with whatever he gets. But when he went to Shravika's house, he saw that the same food was served in her plate, which he liked the most. He was very surprised, but then he thought, it must be a coincidence. Whatever I like, it must have been made at home today. He eats. Then he remembered that every day after eating, he used to rest for 2 hours in the palace. But today, he will have to return in the sun. But then Shravika said, Bhikshu, it would be a great blessing if you rest for 2 hours after eating. The prince was very surprised that when he was thinking about resting, how did Shravika tell him to rest? Then he avoided this by thinking that it must be a coincidence. The moment I thought of resting, at the same time, he must have thought that Bhikshu has come from far in the sun. It would be good if he could rest a little after eating. That Bhikshu spread the mat and he lay down in it. As soon as he lay down, he thought that after leaving the palace, now no one has a hand on their head, nor their roof, nor their bed. Now the sky is the roof, and the ground is the bed. The prince was thinking that Shravika, who was going back with the mat, stopped and said, Bhante, why do you think so? There is no shade greater than the Mahatma Buddha, no bed greater than the ground, no roof greater than the sky. Please don't think like that. As soon as the prince heard this, he suddenly got up and sat down. Now for him, it was impossible to consider this as a coincidence. He said to that Border Bhikshuni, I am very surprised. Do my thoughts reach you? Do you read my mind? Shravika said, yes. The prince asked very surprisingly, but how? Then Shravika said, first I started examining my own thoughts. I started paying attention to the thoughts that came to my mind. Now the situation has turned upside down. My own thoughts have disappeared while examining them. The whole mind has become thoughtless. Now I don't have any thoughts of my own in my mind. But now the thoughts of anyone around me also come into my examination. I also read his thoughts. That scorpion suddenly got scared and stood up. And he said, give me permission, I will go. His hands and feet were trembling. Shravika said, why are you so scared? What is there to be afraid of? But the scorpion did not stop. He returned. He said to Buddha, forgive me. I will not be able to go to that door to ask for alms again. Buddha said, why? Did you make a mistake there? Did you make a mistake? That scorpion said, I did not make a mistake, nor did I make a mistake. I got a lot of respect, and the food that was most loved, I got it. But that young Shravika reads the thoughts of others. This is a very dangerous thing, because seeing that beautiful young Shravika, I had lust in my mind. I also had lust. I also had some wrong thoughts for him. He must have read all that. Now how can I go there? How can I stand in front of him? How can I make eye contact with him? I will not be able to go to him again, Buddha. Forgive me. Buddha said, you will have to go there. If you had to ask for such an apology, then there was no need to become a scorpion. I had sent you there on purpose. And until I refuse, you will have to go there every day. Month, 2 months, year, 2 years, continuously. Now this is your practice. But go consciously, go awake from within, and see what thoughts are arising in you, what desires arise. And do not do anything. Do not fight those thoughts and bad desires. Do not try to suppress them. Whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, let them come. Your job is to examine those thoughts. Look at them carefully. So you go awake. Go seeing what happens inside. What does not happen? Hey Scorpion, I went there the next day. Think once that you are going in his place. And she reads your mind. She is very beautiful. She is very attractive. She is very passionate. But she reads the mind. Yes. If she could not read the mind, or you did not know that she reads the thoughts of the mind, then you can think anything in your mind. But what will you do today? If you are going today to take alms instead of that scorpion, he is walking on the scorpion path. He is in great danger. He is looking at his mind. He is awake. Today, for the first time in his life, he is walking awake. As soon as he came near the house of that scorpion, his consciousness began to increase, as if a lamp was burning inside, and things began to appear clearly, and thoughts began to appear while moving. As soon as he stepped on the stairs of the house, a quiet shadow went inside him. Consciousness was completely frozen. He lifts his foot, so he is getting to know. A breath is also coming and going, so he is also getting to know. A little bit of thought in the mind. If there was any lack of thought, or the wave of lust arose, so he is also getting to know. As soon as he went inside the house of that scorpion, his mind became even more calm. He is completely awake, as if a lamp was burning inside a house, and things were appearing clearly. He sat down to eat. He ate. He got up. He came back. He came back while dancing that day. He came back, and he fell at Buddha's feet. And he said, "Buddha, today a wonderful thing happened." As soon as I reached near him, similarly, I became awake. I found that thoughts also disappeared. Desires and lusts also disappeared. And when I went inside his house, then there was complete silence inside me. There was no thought. There was no lust. There was nothing. The mind was completely calm, and it was like a pure mirror. Buddha said, "I had sent you there for this. There is no need to go there from tomorrow. Now live your life like this, as all people are reading your thoughts. Now live your life like this, as whoever is in front of you, he knows you. He is looking inside you. He is reading your thoughts. Live your life like this, and stay awake inside, as the awareness increases. Similarly, thoughts and lusts will disappear. The day the awareness will be complete, that day you will not have any thoughts or thoughts in your life. That day, a self-revolution happens. The awakening of this situation, the awakening of this consciousness. I call it the awakening of wisdom. Friends, we have learned from this story. If we keep one thing in our mind, whatever we think about the other person, he is reading it. He is also knowing it. Then our mind will stop thinking bad about anyone. Think. If you know that you are thinking wrong about a girl, and that girl will know this, then will your mind think such things? No. Friends, if we keep doing this process for many days, then we will find that our mind has become thoughtless. It is only living in the present. It is seeing the things of the present. It is a witness of that. Our mind will stop making good or bad opinions about anything. It will only see that thing. It will see it as it is. Friends, if we can do this, then we will be able to live a peaceful and conscious life.